Welcome back, everyone, to Hidden Treasure. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Brad, and today we're going to be talking about the judge and jury.
That's right.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about judgment and, kind of looking at the way people view things in the world when they hear something on the radio or a podcast or, they see something on TV. A lot of times they're very critical and they judge it, and we do it without even knowing it. And, we have an opinion, we have these prejudices, and we just go ahead and put something out there, and what we don't realize is that what we're putting out there is coming back on us. So we've judged. So we've taken something personally. We've judged it. We've not been open-minded. We haven't used our free will to just let it go. We've decided, hey, we're going to take issue with this.
And then what happens?
We're in negative energy. We have conflict. We're not happy.
Right.
And it might not be one major situation or event. It could be just a bunch of little things, but all those little things add up, and they take their toll on your thoughts, emotions, and your feelings.
And unfortunately, it's the easiest thing to do is to judge.
Right.
By far, out of all the things we can do, I found that judging, being critical, having some kind of negative response towards something,
right,
is so easy. Gosh, it's easy. It's almost natural. It's like breathing.
It is, and so you see this all the time. You see it with corporations now, and how consumers react to certain things. We've seen things play out in the news here lately with different types of beers and what they promoted, or different retail stores and what they promoted, and people have an issue with it. Well, guess what? When you have an issue with it, you're going to have an issue with yourself, because you're not being loving and accepting. And we're not talking about being agreeing or approving, but it's just it's just taking things so personal that you have indignation toward it,
and you have some negative thoughts, and sometimes some very ugly thoughts,
right,
that you're of course feeding your mind, and what you feed the mind grows. And our teacher is the good teacher, and the good teacher was very clear about this subject when he simply said, don't judge.
Right.
That was it. Don't judge. 2 words. I mean, how much clearer could you make it? And he said also, don't judge, because if you judge, you will be judged. And then he said, the measure you use will be measured back to you. Then he also said something else that we don't talk about a lot. He said, don't worry about that speck in your brother's eye when you got a big plank sticking out at your eyes.
That's right.
Now, a plank's a big old board about 20 foot long. And a speck, you can't even hardly find it. Yeah. So he was very specific about this thing called judging. He seemed to know that it was an issue with us, and was really probably the biggest, it's probably responsible for the most, I would say it's the biggest contributor to us not feeling very well.
Right. What if you could go through life and you really did what Jimmy said, leave judge and jury to God. He's going to take care of that. You just live your life in the most abundant, loving way you can to have the most peace and joy in your life. How cool would that be?
It's awesome, isn't it?
Well, it can happen. It's right there.
You got the free will.
You've got the free will to do it.
Right.
That's right.
And we've all been programmed, and a lot of our program has led to us finding fault with each other.
Right.
It's like, all right, I'll tell you a story. Was when I was in 6th grade, never forget this. Every night at the dinner table, that's when we used to sit down and have dinner every night when my dad would get home from work. And my mom and dad sit there and talked about the president at the time, who was John F. Kennedy, and he was Democrat and he was Catholic. Okay, well, we're Southern Baptists in the South. And they were distraught. Oh, he's running our country,
Right.
And so they talked bad about him every single day. And that's all I knew was what they said. And I loved and trusted them. Well, then the day he was shot, they made the announcement over this speaker system in our school, and I was in 6th grade. And I'll never forget my response to it was that when they said he'd been assassinated, I said to somebody who was standing next to me, well, good, because he was a bad man. So I guess we got that bad man out of office.
Hmm.
Well, I'm a sixth grader. Why would I think such a thing? And it turned out he wasn't a bad man, and he wasn't all the terrible things my parents said he was.
Right.
Yeah, they were just afraid because they didn't understand.
Right.
But anyway, that I got programmed. I got programmed to look at this guy as a bad guy, and it was actually, I wasn't happy, but to me, I thought it was a good thing that he had been killed. And of course, I don't think that way anymore. Would never think that way. But I didn't know any better. I heard it.
Right.
And I was innocent.
Yeah. So even at a young age, we judge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even know we're doing it. What if just hear me out here?
Mm-hmm.
What if we all loved and accepted each other? Mm-hmm. All right. It doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, what your last name is. You accept the fact that we're all equal. All right. We're all equal. We're human. What if you went through life thinking that? What would the world look like? We have so much in common. We're so much alike that it's just having that free will to understand it and connect to it and celebrate our differences.
Yeah, and what kind of world would this be if we were all the same color? That would be bland.
Or if we all believed the same, we had the same thoughts and feelings.
Right. If we were all just alike, I mean, it just wouldn't work.
Right.
We need us to all be different. We need different, just like cars. We have all the same color cars. No, we got all different kind of colors. Well, it's the same with people ourselves.
Some groups, some religions, if you don't agree with them, then they call you a sinner.
That's right.
Right, you're sinning.
Kick you out.
Yeah, you're sinning. Your alternative lifestyle or whatever you want to call it is different. Mm-hmm. So you're a sinner. You're wrong. I'm right. And that's where a lot of this divide starts. And it really, we need to be more loving, accepting. And what did the good teacher say? He gave us 2 commandments, right?
To love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself.
And there was no exception to that.
No except. He didn't say except for.
Right. So that's the hardest thing for people to get over because it's the way they believe. It's the way they've been brought up. If you've been brought
up. Like I was,
yeah.
with the president.
That's right.
See, you've been done the same way, folks. You had people telling you who to like and who not to like. And we bought into it.
But the one thing about this compass we have inside of us, this hidden treasure, is that it always knows the truth.
It does.
And when it hears the truth, it recognizes the truth and it lights up.
And there's something in you right now that knows that what Brad has been talking about, and I'm seconding here, is that, loving everybody, accepting everybody. There's something inside of you that knows that's true. You do know that. That's that light that we're talking about. If you can get to, it knows that we're all in this together and we're all beautiful, special, unique, one of a kind, and amazing. And we all have value and we're all worthy. No, and sure, we have behavior that may say differently, but that's not going to change it.
I couldn't have said that was awesome. I couldn't have said that any better. And so, my dream, my prayer is that we go through life being loving and accepting toward everybody. And what's going to happen is you're going to love and accept yourself.
Absolutely. Shoot, some of my best friends are just totally different than me, but I love them. Yeah. I love their uniqueness. I love if you get to know people, you'd be amazed at how much you'll find you like about somebody, and, they're just dear friends that, sure, we're different, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
I love their differences. I love their uniqueness.
Right. Letting God take care of the judgment and we love and accept, it's going to allow us to open up the door for new relationships, for us to grow.
If you're having a hard time, ask for help. I mean, I have help. I'm not doing this by myself. We can ask for anything. That was something the good teacher taught. He said, you can ask God for anything.
And
yes.
and he uses people to help others. And so he's using us, and we're hopefully able to use his words to speak through us to help you. And it's really an incredible thing, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. It's by far... what we're talking about here, if you apply it and practice it and by just make an effort, you'll find it's going to do more for you than all the money in the world could ever do for you. Right. It's just unbelievable.
So wrapping up, our hope is that you will stop judging, let God take care of that, and just
judgment to God.
be loving, accepting, live a joyful, happy life, and I think
You'll love the results.
you'll love the results.
For sure. So it's your.
Oh, you want me to do this?
Yeah, you did. It's your me.
So please like, subscribe, comment below, and share this with other people. If there's somebody that you've been praying for, or somebody that you wanted to maybe hear something you've been saying to them, but maybe just hearing it from somebody else might be the trick, right? Might be the you planted the seeds, they just need a little water to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them to tune in, and we're on this journey together, so we're learning a lot, and
always learning.
Yeah, always learning, and so hopefully we can get to the point where everybody's being kind, loving to each other. That's our goal.
So we appreciate you listening, and peace, joy, love, and light be with you always.
Yep. Have a great day.
God bless.